Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Griffin and I'm a filmmaker based out of Orange County, California. And today we're doing a bit of a ridiculous test. I know, I get it. We have the Canon C70 versus the Arri Alexa Mini LF. So this is a $6,000 camera versus, I don't know exactly off the top of my head. I think it's probably around $60,000. Obviously these cameras are in majorly different price categories and I recognize that, but I kind of wanted to show what's the difference between like a very good cinema camera that might be in some of our price points and budgets that we could actually afford versus what is pretty much widely considered the industry standard for full-blown commercial video production. So this is the camera that top cinematographers like Roger Deakins are using to make their award-winning films. This is also a camera that we're using on current video productions that I'm on. So some of the majority of the productions we're running my C500, my C70, but for sort of the top shelf stuff, we pull out the big guns. So this is the camera we rented for some productions, and that's why I have this camera right now. So honestly, I don't really have a ton of time to do this video because we're actually on our prep day, and we do have a lot more camera prep and other stuff we have to do. But I wanted to show you guys a quick test and just kind of show you, talk about some of the different features that the cameras have, what makes them catered for the different categories they're in, as well as just a quick image quality test. So we'll start out with the image quality. Okay, so could you guys guess which camera is which? I mean, personally I could, just because I've worked with both cameras. I do think though, in the right circumstance, you can make the majority of cinema cameras look really good. So a camera like the C70 or Sony A7S III or whatever you're shooting on, I think the vast majority of them, under the right circumstances, if the lighting's not super crazy, could look very good. That being said, let's talk about what makes each one unique. I haven't seen the footage yet, but I'm going to share with you what I've learned after working with both of these cameras and working a little bit in post with the footage. So starting off with the C70, you guys know I've done like a million videos on my channel about the C70. I love this camera. It's a little powerhouse. You look at the size of it, for example. It's great for run and gun shooting. It's great for documentary shooting. It's great for sort of like fast-paced environments where you need everything sort of all built in. It's got a great audio solution built into it. It's got 2 mini XLR ports, and it can actually run 4 channels of audio. So you can run your audio direct in camera, say for an interview, or if you want to run like a nice high quality phantom power shotgun mic on your camera. It's really good for run and gun situations. I just finished up a project with my friend Ryan, who's actually filming this video with me, and my buddy Justin, who's the director, and we use the C70 all week on a gimbal. It's got great autofocus. So that's another reason why we used it on the gimbal, and it allowed us to just really run a nice small camera package and be able to run around, not get too tired out. We didn't have to run an easy rig or ready rig or anything too crazy. It just was a nice solution for us for that type of project. Another cool thing, it can do 4K 60 and 4K 120 with the full sensor. It doesn't make you change your resolution or anything like that. It can do it all with the full sensor, which is pretty cool. With the Mini LF, we'll jump over here and start talking about some of the features of this camera. So the Mini LF, in my opinion, has the best image out of any camera, bar none. If I could shoot on any camera, it'd be this one, when image quality is just your concern. Some of the trade-offs with that are size. I mean, the size isn't totally gigantic, but if you carry this thing for more than just a couple minutes, you're gonna want an easy rig. This thing's big, it's heavy, it chews through batteries pretty fast. So it takes gold mount batteries, which are either V mounts or gold mounts, can be found on the vast majority of professional commercial sets. So it's nice that this particular one takes gold mounts, although I even prefer V mounts myself. It's got a nice viewfinder. The viewfinder actually costs just this part right here. This thing literally costs more than this whole camera, which is, take that for what you will. This costs $7,500, just this viewfinder. So better be nice, right? But it's nice. All the menus are so easy to use. You know, if you're someone that hasn't shot with this camera, honestly, you could just kind of pick it up, go through the menus. It's just like black magic. Like everything is called what should be called. It just makes sense. Some of my favorite things about this, other than the image quality, are the fact that you can shoot either ProRes or RAW, all internal. My favorite codec out of any codec is ProRes. It's so easy to edit, plays back on anybody's machine, edits like butter. It's so good. Some of the trade-offs with this, being that it's a 4x5 sensor, when you're shooting in that open gate mode, it's really good for some of the content that we shoot, which ends up being vertical content. And some of this stuff has been really high production value, either 1x1 for like social media ads or 9x16 for some big companies that we've been working with. This is great for that because all the vertical resolution, it's 25 millimeters tall on the sensor, compared to like a C500 Mark II, for example, is 21 millimeters tall. The C70, without the speed booster or with the speed booster, it's 13 millimeters tall. So it's a significantly smaller sensor we're talking about. And I was using the speed booster on the tests. So I'll go ahead and display on the image quality which camera was which. Did you guys guess it? Let me know in the comments. When it comes to the Alexa Mini LF, this camera's really got that it factor. In terms of client perception, people don't like to talk about it. I like to talk about it because it's a very real thing. You show up on set with this bad boy, everyone immediately knows you're legit. First time I met Dave, who's in all my videos, I walked up in the Staples Center with an Alexa Mini, not the LF, but he immediately walked up to me and was like, dude, what's up, man? Like, let's link up. What's your deal? Let's get each other's Instagrams. And honestly, like, he even told me, he's like, when I saw you walk up with the Alexa Mini, I knew you were legit. And even though I wasn't that legit, there's something to be said about it for sure. And people like this camera for a reason. Not to say you can't get that with the C70, especially if you build it up a little bit. You can check out my C70 rig video if you're interested in seeing how I like to build this camera up usually. But I wanted to show just sort of in the bare bones configuration today. So those are some of my thoughts on these two cameras. I love them both. They're both very different cameras. And this is, like I said, it's kind of just a little quick one. So I'm curious on your guys' thoughts. Do you see the value in these super high production cameras, or would you rather stick with something a little more run and gun? You know, I think they're different tools for different jobs personally, but I want to hear what you guys have to say. So if you like this kind of content, consider hitting that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.